folks, we're ready to go. 50 more laps here at Mesa Marin Raceway, and Kevin Vernon going to be starting out in front with the same way that they finished in the last 50. They're going to start over again as we are back main event racing here at Bakersfield on Time Warner Cable Channel 52. Folks, if you're watching this and it's Tuesday, just remember that this next Saturday we are going to be having a great fireworks show out here, and we had just a little teaser out here before of the fireworks. In the Street Stock main event, going to recap that, Danny Collins in the number 11 was your top finisher. Mike Rowell, number 1, who is currently and still your points leader with about an 80-point lead, is in second. Stan Williams in the number 72 is in third. Brian Richardson in fourth. And Mark Roberts, not actually Mark Roberts wasn't driving, but Mark Roberts' car finished fifth. So top 5 finish for the number 25 car. Getting back to the late models. Late model cars, interesting show here as Frank Adamo, as we talk to Frank and Kevin Harvick. These guys want to make sure that they finish this race and stay in it and make sure that everything is working for them and in their best interest. And so they're going to do everything they can to keep these cars running on all engines and cylinders and pistons, because these guys only got 3 tires. So this one's going to be the one that's interesting. Kevin Vernon wanted to make sure he at least got 1 win here, and Vernon is in the points battle now. Kevin Vernon had 2 DNFs, but Vernon is back in the points battle, as the points battle looks like this. Jason Small and Tommy Fry, Frank Adamo and Kevin Vernon. But Vernon probably pulled ahead, and we will get those figures for you, probably pulled ahead of Frank Adamo, as Adamo got a little bit tough on the finish, but you never know in this late model series, in the $1.5 million Winston Racing Series, who's going to be ahead of who in this racing division. Got a special guest up in the booth, Marlene Heisey with Heisey Marketing Answers for us here. Marlene's going to be helping me spot up here as I'm all alone. Lost my other spotter. Had to send him home to UCLA or wherever that school is down south. So it looks like we're going to have 1 to go. And we've got our great friends at IB Dick, or AB Dick IPS. I knew I'd mispronounce that one time tonight. Great friends at AB Dick IPS going to be throwing the green flag and helping out with everything. Phil Bentley, the owner-manager of AB Dick IPS, was interviewed a little earlier. And the green flag is going to be thrown by Tad Williamson from AB Dick IPS. Tad down there has got that green flag ready, and he's going to be watching the number 19 of Kevin Vernon and the 6 of Sean Calderwood. Who's going to take off? Vernon's going to take off and check out, and the green flag is going to drop, and Kevin Vernon gets to jump on him, and right behind him is the 99 of Jimmy Watkins. Watkins pulls in right beside him. Calderwood, we don't know what's going to happen with Calderwood. Calderwood gets torn up, and we got a spin, and number 4 is spinning, and that is your points leader. There's your problem right there. Also getting into it is White. The 26 of Bobby Aldridge. Red flag's going to come out, and you saw that happening right there. You saw it happen as one of the cars got a little bit loose, and the 4 car of Jason Small has problems. He's got it going, but there's sparks flying off the car. Bobby Aldridge is pulling it into the pits with a red flag. We're going to see what NASCAR is going to allow them to do under the rules of, if a red flag comes out, they don't know if they're going to let them work on the cars and do things to them, and that's probably what they're going to do, is they're going to try to stop them, but the team's going to try to get as much as they can. Also pulling in is the number 97, and that's Roger Mears Jr., who his regular car, he had problems. Actually, that's Les Denherter, so they must have got the other car figured out. No, they didn't. It's in the rig. I can see it. That is Roger Mears. So involved in that incident were the 66 of Charles Utts towards the back. I don't think Utts got into it as much. The 33 of Steve Wright out of Alpine in a No Fear Spy Chevrolet Monte Carlo. The 97 car, which Roger Mears is driving. The 7 of Nick Janitis. I think Brian Branson made it through the pack. The 5 was involved in that car in that incident also. But the tough luck award goes to the number 4 team. And, you know, they knew that it's going to be tough to go through the whole season without a incident happening, and Jason Small isn't out of it, trust me, but Jason Small, this is one of those things where it's going to test the team and test him, because they can't really work on the car until the red light goes off, so they're not going to be able to do anything to the car, but the red flag is out, and this is kind of the way you're going to see things because the tires on these cars are a little bit, they only got 3 tires. The tires on these cars are a little bit worn, and you're going to be slipping and sliding a little bit more. So, we kind of said this in the opening that this may happen, and sure enough, it is happening. So we will see, and we're trying to find out from Barry McKeever if we can find out exactly what happened over there, but we don't know if we can talk to anybody over there or not. You see right now, as we can pan our camera over there, the number 1 car of Jimmy White out of Covina and that EDS Racing Engines 5-star Auto Care folding gate systems. Tough break for Jimmy White. Jimmy White's been doing very, very good things in his racing here at Mesa Marin. So we're going to go ahead and send it to break as we are 1 lap into it, and we may get a single file restart, but we'll let you know when we come back with more racing action from the West's fastest half mile, Mesa Marin Raceway. Ready? Well, a tough break there for a lot of our top drivers, and we're going to see if Roger Mears Jr. and the number 4 of Jason Small can do something about it. But right now, we're going to go ahead and go down trackside with Jimmy White. Tough break for the 1 car with Barry McKeever. Talk to Jimmy and ask him what happened down there.
All right, Paul, a whole lot of things happening out there. A lot of cars flying around. Jimmy, nowhere to go.
No, the hole just closed, and we had nowhere to go, but that's racing.
Are you all right?
Oh, I'm fine. I just want to be out there bad.
Disappointing, especially after what happened to you in the first race with the carbon monoxide poisoning, coming back and then only getting a half a lap. The car you mentioned was hooked up.
I'll tell you, that's what the disappointing part is. I felt great, and the car was unbelievable. It was fast, and we had something for him, but hey, that's racing.
All right, Jimmy, you're okay. That's the good news.
I'm fine.
All right, Jimmy White, disappointing night for him. Ends a disappointing fashion in a crash, but if we could pan right over here, they're working on the number 4, your points leader, Jason Small. We're going to run over and find out what's going on. While we do that, Paul, why don't you talk for a few seconds, okay?
Well, we'll just probably just keep the camera down there if we can, Time Warner, and just kind of watch him as he works around there. And we will see. He's going to head over to the 4 pits and kind of see, that's the tough break there because he's got to get points. Jason Small out of Bakersfield with 271 points, and that was before the first late model 50 in this AB Dick IPS Firecracker 100. So we will see exactly. He will be back about 22, 23 positions, which will cut into his lead about 30 points. So right now we're going to go ahead and head down to the 4 pits with Barry McKeever and Jason Small.
All right, Paul, your points leader in the pits. A whole lot of damage to the front right side of this car. You see them working feverishly on it. They've got a bent A-arm. They've got a whole lot of body damage. That's not a big deal, but they've got to make sure that that A-arm, which is the support arm, can hold the tire, especially under this. They're working to try to get it. They're going to go back green in just a few seconds, so we'll see if he comes out. We'll let you know in a few seconds. Back up to you, Paul.
Well, thank you very much, Barry McKeever. Barry, again, making a valiant effort with basically no voice, and I guarantee he will not be able to talk tomorrow, but his wife will probably be happy about that, but that's about the only benefit that's going to happen. The lights are off, and we are at 1 lap. As you can see, some of the damaged cars are coming back into pits and checking in. Jason Small is not going to get it refired, and he's going to be stuck in the pits behind a lot of cars. The lights are off on the Haddad Intrepid, and Kevin Vernon could really catch up here and even take over the lead, and we will see what happens here as Kevin Vernon takes that number 19 Ted Davidson equipment sales car back to the front. 1 lap and we are under green flag. Kevin Vernon has 3 victories this season, the most of any driver, but he has 2 DNFs, which means did not finish. And you don't get very many points when you do not finish the race. So problems there. Problems again for the 26 car of Bobby Aldridge as he pulls that Ultra Shield Chevrolet Monte Carlo in the pits right in front of the 97 of Roger Mears Jr. So Jimmy White, Roger Mears Jr., Leston Herder, the 26 of Bobby Aldridge, and the 4 is going to try to make it back out on track, and it is back on the track. So good things there for Jason Small as you hopefully we can car and get a view on the front stretch. So we're going to follow that car around, the 4, and we'll be able to show you as they can pan in on it or focus in on it, show you the damage that was done to the car. There's the bumper is flapping there. Great job, Time Warner. Bumper was flapping there, and what Barry was talking about, the A-arm, that is what the tire supports the tire, and when they're trying to bite off that turn, when they're coming out of the turn, that's when you run into problems. Right now, let's go down inside the pits to Barry McKeever on lap 4. Barry, what do you got for us?
All right, Paul, we've got Donnie Hubble as the crew chief for Jason Small, the number 4, your points leader. And you don't know what happened, but tell us what the damage was, Donnie.
It bent the and put it together and send him out there just to get the points.
So how is the car handling as it? Troubles continue for the number 4, but they're just going to try to get as many points as possible. Jason Small is out on the track. That's the important thing. Paul?
Tough break there, and you know what, folks? We know you didn't catch that, so we cut it up here. What he was saying, what Donnie was saying, was that the car is not completely put back together, but they had to put it together just to get it out there to run for the points, and that's exactly what he's doing. And if he can get a couple points out of this and not lose points, he'll be okay, because that car was fast. But you can see as he's trying to get around, and he does almost get around the number 2 car of Brian Branson. That number 4 car just wants to be out there and run. And hopefully he's hoping that a few of the other cars will not finish. The problem is he's got things rubbing all over the tires. He's got a bent A-arm, and he's got some problems there. But he needs to make sure he keeps his points and does not get a do not finish. So our top 5 looks like this. Kevin Vernon in the number 19 Chevrolet Monte Carlo, followed by the 6 car. And that is being driven by Sean Calderwood out of Bakersfield in the MP Environmental Bob's Cafe Chevrolet Monte Carlo. The 99 and 98, the twin tandems of Jim Watkins in the Community Recycling Mechanics Works Chevrolet Monte Carlo, and the 98 of Frank Adamo in the Community Recycling Mechanics Works Western Well Chevrolet Monte Carlo also, and followed by the number 16 of Kevin Harvick. So that's your top 5 there. Brian Barron and Charles Utts and Dave Phipps running out. Your top 10 with Leslie Lipscomb coming in 10th place. Lap traffic here for Vernon in the 19, trying to get around Nick Giannitis. Giannitis not playing ball with them, trying to race, and that's Swearingen Classic Rentals Chevrolet. It's a Jackson race car, Kendall Motor Oil helping out. So Vernon's going to go around the outside of him and does get around him in that Action Towing car. So Kevin Vernon's had a great night through now, 12 laps in the books. Again, a beautiful night of racing here in Bakersfield. I can't encourage you enough to come out here and catch a race, because once you do it, it'll catch you just like I caught the bug a couple of years ago, and you will be out here as many nights as you can spare. And the thing about it is it's a great family opportunity for you to get out here and bring the family out. Kids under 12 are free, you know, and the kids, there's a lot of activities for them to do out here. The Joe Ronco Nastrikes, a lot of opportunities to bring the family out here. And it's good, clean fun, and it's fun to come out here with the kids and or just with yourself, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, and have some fun. It's some great racing here, and we're showing some great racing there with Frank Adamo and Kevin Harvick. Harvick, who races is a regular on the NASCAR Winston, or the Craftsman Truck Series, is getting real close into the back of the 98 car. And as we see Calderwood get around Nick Giannitis too, that's the 99 and the 98. And problems there, Giannitis rolls and spins, and so does the 6 car. And we've got cars spinning all over the place on coming out of turn 2. So Sean Calderwood got flipped around, and the 7 of Nick Giannitis got flipped around. This should be a pretty quick yellow. I would agree that not much damage out there. We're going to probably get out there and go about 2-3 laps and then get back on there, because it was just a bump and run. Right now, we're going to go ahead and head down to the Roger Mears Jr. pits with Barry McKeever and Roger Mears. Barry, what do you got for us?
All right, Paul, Roger Mears Jr. Roger, I'll tell you what, season started spectacularly for you. Came out here, won the first night of the season, our first race of the season. It's been downhill ever since, and tonight, just nothing seems to work right.
Yeah, it's real unfortunate. The team's doing a great job, and I'd like to thank HBS Plumbing, Sun Valley Oil, and all the people that help us, Quality Diesel and Electric. It's just...
What happened tonight?
Well, First of all, we had an ignition problem in the first race. And the second race, everybody stacked up there on that start, and I was kind of at the end of it. We just broke the left front suspension.
Now, your year in 98, are we going to see the HPS team? I know it's early, but, I mean, is this a multi-year deal here we want?
Well, that's what we're hoping, of course. I don't think we're completely out of the program. I mean, I know we got a good team. I know we have a good program and everything it takes to go win races, but hopefully we can just start winning.
All right, Roger Mears is out of the race and out of the points championship, but the guy who's making big ground, Kevin Vernon, in the lead on the track. Let's go to Paul Pavicic for the call. Paul?
Well, thank you very much, Barry McKeever. The number 19 car has got some problems behind him because look at that, the 98 and the 99. The twin tandems are there, and that is Jimmy Watkins, Frank Adamo in front of him. So it's Vernon, Adamo, Watkins, Harvick, and Calderwood. Calderwood in the number 6 got spun around by the 98. But hey, if you're not rubbing, you're not racing, and those guys are out there. And that number 98 was the fastest qualifier, and it looks like he's got some tires that Vernon doesn't have. So it's going to be a battle there with 20 laps down, 40% of the race in the books. We've got 30 more to go. Vernon would love nothing more than to get another victory because besides getting the points, you get some cash too. And Kevin Vernon likes to spend the cash. So likes to have the money to spend and likes to put it into this car. So he would love to win some money there, and I'm sure his sponsor, Ted Davidson Equipment Sales and Action Towing, would love to too. Should something happen, I'm looking in the pits and I see Barry McKeever. He is in the Action Towing, Ted Davidson Equipment, Chevrolet Monte Carlo pits with the number 19. So should something happen there, we will see what's going on. And there is a good shot. I bet Adamo was probably told by Tom Fry Sr. rather, to maybe take it a little bit easier and let Vernon try to make Vernon make a mistake because he knows that Vernon's loose. So probably just kind of letting things coast a little bit for about 10 laps and then maybe putting some pressure on him would be the things that they would be talking about. Another thing that's developing is the number 4 team, Jason Small, is talking to a few of the drivers over his radio and trying to get some of the teams to let him pass a little bit easier so that he can continue his romp over the teams. And he's got the 07 and the 88 who aren't in the dry. That's Gene Fife in the 07, and the 88 is being driven by Jeff Latimer. And so they're trying to talk to the teams and say, hey, if you let us go by, we'll repay the favor when you're in the running for the championships. But if you can kind of let us go through there, and they don't always do it, folks. They don't always participate and cooperate with each other. But sometimes they do, and this is a great sport because of that, because there is such teamwork and cooperation between all the drivers. Halfway there, folks, the halfway point, 25 laps, and Kevin Vernon still in first. Vernon's led most of the laps tonight. Tough break pulling into the pits for the number 46 team. That is Doug Petsko Jr. He's going to turn it in, pull it into the pits. So a great showing. You know, I can't talk enough good things about the number 6 team of Sean Calderwood. Calderwood getting a lot of help from his dad and his family in that MP Environmental Chevrolet Monte Carlo. The Port City chassis with a great setup and a great engine in that car. And it's turned into a 2-car battle. Frank Adamo and Kevin Vernon, both these guys know they're going to be moving up in the points. And there's a good shot right there of Jimmy Watkins and Kevin Harvick. Harvick doesn't have as much for these guys as his cars are a little slow. And we've got a pass going for first, and that is going to happen as Frank Adamo is going to get right past Kevin Vernon. Vernon almost pulled out and said, hey, I'll let you through there. He's not letting much, and Vernon is getting real loose as Adamo gets past him and pulls out by 2 car lengths. So the fastest qualifier out there passes Kevin Vernon on lap 28 and 29, and now has pulled out to about a 3-car length lead. So what happened probably is the setup on these things has changed it. Vernon got his victory, said, hey, I don't need to finish as high. Maybe he's saving a tire for when he's really going to need it, which may be later in the season. A lot of pit strategy comes into play, especially when it's a night like this where you've already got your 50 points. So if you get a top 5 finish, you're still happy, but you've got that extra tire that you can use a little later in the year if you're just running on that. And Vernon is running on some tires that aren't necessarily as fresh as the 98. At least that's what the story is up here in the press box is. that Vernon's tires aren't necessarily as fresh as the 98. You know, looking at this, with the 98 and the 99 all around Vernon between a community recycling sandwich, Vernon's got the opportunity to keep these guys from going 1-2, but Jimmy Watkins has got all the motor he can handle in front of him in that 19 car. But Watkins has also got a Watkins racing engine motor, and he may just sneak up there and get right under the number 19 as they take it around lap traffic. A good shot there of Tommy Fry in the 51, and Tim Huddleston checking up as the 4 car of Jason Small. 33 laps in the books. And getting high and spinning is the number 6 of Calderwood, and he is not in the best position in turn 4. Turn 4, Calderwood, a tough spin there. And he's going to try to, he does get it fired back up, but the yellow flag is out. And what happened is Calderwood, as he saw the 99 get up high, as Harvick now into the picture, and Harvick's been saving the tires too. So Kevin Harvick now moves up into 3rd, along with Kevin Vernon in 2nd, and Frank Adamo in the number 98 Community Recycling Crown Motorsports Western Well Chevrolet Monte Carlo. With that, we'll go down trackside with Barry McKeever.
All right, Paul, Ted Davidson, the owner of the number 19, Ted Davidson Equipment Sales, Chevy Monte Carlo. Kevin Vernon seems like he's developing a push. What's he saying?
The car has tightened up real, just tremendous from when we started the race. We made a couple adjustments, and apparently we went the wrong way with them.
Is it going to change at all during this race, or is there anything you can do at this point?
Well, we're hoping that a few more yellows, it might cool down a little bit and maybe come back to us. But right now, we're just riding.
With your points leader a lap down, you're still gaining a ton of points. This has got to feel good knowing that you've already got a win in the bag.
Exactly. It feels really good. This Vernon bunch and Bob, all my guys, have worked so hard for all this. I mean, coming up here, it's not just the money, it's the competition that does everything.
And of course, Kevin with 2-track championship knows it is not over until the very last checkered flag falls. That's it.
Oh, exactly. I mean, my guys never said quit at any time. They said, hey, let's go get them. We're still, we're knocking at the door.
Tell us about the tires. What did you run in the tires? Did you run the same tires here in the second one?
No, we put 3 brand new ones on, and I think that might have been what the problem was. My left rear had not been scuffed, and I think it grew too much.
All right, there's the word from Ted Davidson. They're going to be happy with the second place finish, but it's not over. Long way to go. Kevin Vernon now in second with already 1 win in the bag. We'll see who's going to win the second of 2 Twin 50s, sponsored by AB Dick IPS in the Wrangler Firecracker 100. Paul?
Well, thank you very much, Barry McKeever. Great job down there. Great reporting in the pits. You are working your tail off. Loving that. 1 to go at the light. We're going to have 12 laps to go in a Dash for Cash. As you heard it from Ted Davidson, Davidson said a couple of yellows and that car could come back to him. And here's the restart that we're talking about. Watch the number 98. Watch how soon he takes off. If he takes off quick, Vernon's going to be all over him. And Vernon is all over him. A good restart for both. Harvick, not the beneficiary of it. And the car is back for the 19 team. We will soon see as they come around turns 1 and 2. Vernon sticks it real low on turns 1 and 2. And even though he's got 3 new tires, that may not be the best ticket, as the 98 may have chose to do that too. Vernon closes as he comes around turns 2 and 4, but he loses it on the straightaway, so power may be the problem there. But don't forget the number 16 right there. The number 16 of Kevin Harvick. Harvick, a 2-time track champion here at Mesa Marin Raceway, and currently the Winston West points leader, and in the top 20 in the Craftsman Truck Series. And he's going to go up and challenge. He's going to go up and challenge Vernon, and he just blows past Vernon, as Vernon is having tire problems. Jimmy Watkins is going to come up and try to close on him. So the 16, as you see right there on your television screen, pulls right by the 19, and you don't score as many points there, but you don't worry too much about it because Harvick's not really in a points battle. Harvick's going for the win. Putting the hammer down, trying to win one for his teammate, number 4, Jason Small. Both of them in the Ken Small Hertz Equipment rental stable of cars there. 42 laps in the book. And coming up on a little bit of lap traffic, but I I don't think they're going to catch up to him in 8 laps. 7 laps at the line. There's Tommy Fry. Good shot of Fry there. Fry, Mr. Consistency with Mr. Tough Break Guy tonight. Can't remember what the nickname he gave Tom Fry was, but we'll see. Now, Vernon's car is hooked up a little bit more, and you've got about an even length in between all 4 of these cars. So maybe they're not wanting to get into so much trouble there. And Jimmy Watkins not wanting to wad the car up trying to get past Vernon, knowing that Vernon is fast, does have 3 tires. You know, pit strategy and tire strategy makes a huge difference. And tonight you could see as Frank Adamo qualified with the fast time, had the setup but just could not get the car to the front in the first one, but he definitely took it to the front in the second one. And Jimmy Watkins is going to try to make a battle and charge on the number 19 right now. He gets him a little bit loose. And here's the battle to watch right here. The 99 Community Recycling Chevrolet Monte Carlo against the 19 Ted Davidson Equipment Sales Chevy. Look how wide Vernon gets and cuts it down, and Jimmy Watkins gets into the backside of him, but they both handle it. Vernon's going to have to really manhandle it here and slide it around. Vernon goes wide, Watkins stays low. We'll see what happens coming out of turn 3 and 4 as Watkins is all over the backside of the number 19. Vernon slows down a little bit, but he swings wide, and Watkins is going to pull up right on the backside of him. Vernon tries to block him, and we've got 3 laps to go. Frank Adamo. Watkins is going to get right up beside him coming down the backstretch and is going to get the pass going into turn number 3 and 4. Vernon's going to get real loose. Watkins, Vernon and Watkins. Frank Adamo is checked away about 30 car lengths from the number 16. So your battle is there, and perhaps what Ted Davidson said about the tires is true, that they just don't have the tires. And you can see that car is just loose as a goose. 49 laps to go. The white flag is out for Frank Adamo in the number 98 Community Recycling Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Adamo getting help from Community Recycling, Western Well, Western Hard Hat, and Mechanics Wear. And here he comes across the line. Frank Adamo gets a victory. Another victory this season. So it's Adamo, Harvick, Watkins, Vernon, and look at that. Will you look at that? The 66 of Charles Utts. Utts started back in the pack, but had a valiant effort and a valiant finish there. Jason Small finished up there a little bit higher also, so looks like Small may have finished 9th if he did not lose any laps, but I think he did lose laps, so I would say he probably finished around 14th or 15th. So a great win for the Community Recycling team and Tom Fry Sr. Western Well and Crown Motorsports helping out big time. Big win for Kevin Vernon in the first one and Frank Adamo in the second one. That makes Adamo's second win, and Vernon has 3 wins. So this is a lot tighter battle for first place than it was when we started tonight before the 100-lap main event. A great race, folks. Bakersfield, let's let Frank Adamo know when he gets out of there how much you enjoyed that race, and some great driving by Adamo. As Frank is unstrapping, his team's checking the temperatures and see how much the tires expanded. He gets his helmet off. Let's give him a Bakersfield round of applause as he comes out. Let's hear it for Maricopa's own Frank Adamo!
Driver, no disrespect intended, that car was flying.
Well, the old girl was hooked up pretty good, I got to say. The first 50, we had a little different gear in it, made a little gear change there for the second go-around. The Crown crew did an outstanding job on this thing. Hey, Kirsten, this one's for you, babe. And I can't say enough about that crew, man. They made some good calls on the tires. Excellent job, good wear and tear.
Talk about getting by Kevin Vernon. You could see that he was developing the push. Your car was just hooked. You pinched him over there in turn number 2 and blew by him.
Yeah, he was having a little trouble coming off the turns, and hey, over there he bobbled one too many, and we shot right up on him, and from there on, man, we were just on a rail.
Let's talk about this. The guy was with 2 track championships. Both of them have 2 track championships, yourself and Kevin Vernon. Tonight, each walk away with a win and a 4th place. And each time you finish ahead of the points leader, Jason Small. This thing is wide open with 4 more nights of twin 50s. this thing is just totally wide open.
I tell you, yeah, anything can happen. These twin 50s, I mean, they're not my favorite cup of tea here, but hey, you got to do it. You know, I imagine it's pretty exciting for the fans and stuff. I'd like to thank Western Well Service, Community Recycling, Bedliner Sales for sponsoring me on this car. Hey, they've been with me a long time. Thank you.
And Tom Fry and the whole crew gave you an awesome car underneath you.
Hey, Tom Fry, he's outstanding. He wonders about me sometimes, I think, but I think he might like me deep down, and I really like him, like his family. I mean, they're great people. But this Crown crew, man, they are dedicated soldiers. They've given me good equipment every race, and hey, we just got to work out a couple of bugs, you know, and we'll be okay. We just had some gremlins in there.
You sure did, but here you are chasing after your third track championship. You think it's a little bit closer now?
I don't know, man. We're out to win these races. I mean, that's the number one thing is win the races.
All right, congratulations. Another big win.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you, fans.
Let's hear for Frank Adamo, second win of 1998, and he gains ground on Jason Small. And, man, was that awesome racing tonight. All of the main events were just incredible here at Mesa Marin, and the fireworks were spectacular. I'll tell you what, if you're not here every Saturday night, you are missing something special. We'll come back, wrap things up right after this. I'm Barry McKee with Paul Pavlitich, and we are at Mesa Marin Raceway on Time Warner Cable. Stay tuned.
Well, folks, it was another great night of racing from Mesa Marin Raceway. I'm Paul Pavlitich along with Barry McKeever, and we'd like to thank you for watching the second in the late model stock car Twin 50s, the second race tonight. The winner was the number 98 of Frank Adamo in a great race. Kevin Vernon led for about 30 laps and then got passed by Adamo on lap 31. Vernon eventually got passed by a second-place finisher and regular on the Craftsman Truck Series and leader in Winston West points this season, Kevin Harvick. In third place was Jimmy Watkins, the teammate to the number 98 of Frank Adamo in the Community Recycling Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Vernon, your winner in the first of the 50s and number one. Vernon finished fourth in this one, but definitely moved up in points, as finishing deep in the pack was number 4, Jason Small. Finishing fifth was the number 66 of Charles Utts. A great finish for Utts. Utts started about 7 positions back, and he was almost up to Vernon when the checkered fell. So a great racing action tonight. And, folks, we have to tell you that on July 4th, we've got a great special event, the 44th Annual Bakersfield Firefighters Association Fireworks Spectacular, and then racing resumes again with the NASCAR Winston Racing Series late models, modified stocks, super street stocks, and street stocks at 7:30 p.m. on July 11th. We look forward to seeing you out there. For Barry McKeever.